I've created the Healthy Rockstar program because I know how hard it is to be on the road and eat healthy. It is so challenging. And so with the Healthy Rockstar kit, we've got, like all the hemp products in there and some greens and some matcha tea if people want to have those things in their kit. And you can have a hemp shake a couple times a day, and you're getting a really powerful fuel for the body.
Welcome to the Female Entrepreneur Musician Podcast with Bree Noble. Bree is a musician, entrepreneur, speaker, and founder of Women of Substance Music Radio and Podcast. Bree's interviews with successful female musicians and industry pros are both inspirational and informational. She also answers your questions about the music business. Bree is on a mission to help you create great music, connect with your fans, and grow your business, and to truly become a female entrepreneur musician.
Hey, this is Bree Noble, and I am so glad that you've tuned in to the Female Entrepreneur Musician Podcast, where we talk about making great music, connecting with your audience, and growing your business. And we have a little bit of a different kind of show in store today. Usually we talk with musicians about how they're making money from music, or we talk with industry pros about how they're working with independent artists. But today I'm talking with an independent artist who has a message that I think is really important for you female artists. And that is about staying healthy while on the road and in general. So I remember being in my mastermind group of female artists and talking about what we eat on tour and how frustrating it is to try to find something that's fast, convenient, and not too expensive, and also healthy. This is a really personal episode for me because in it, I do reveal some health issues that I've dealt with, especially when I was a touring artist, and how that affected me. And I think many of you will identify with this because these are problems that we all face while we're on the road. And then when we're home, we're so busy catching up on everything else, and it's so hard to focus on staying healthy. But if we want to keep making music and have a career that has longitude, we have to pay attention to our health. My guest is Symentha Holmes, and she talks about her own health journey as an artist and how she has come out of that when she was so sick and had no energy and was just really on a downhill spiral. And she gives you guys some really great tips on how to deal with this on tour, how to overcome frustrating issues with your health. And she's developed a program called the Healthy Rockstar, which I think obviously is perfect for this audience. So I just wanted to mention before I get to the interview that if you are interested in checking out the Healthy Rockstar program, you can go to femmusician.com/064 for this episode and its show notes, and you'll see a button on the page that says check out the Healthy Rockstar program. And you can click on that. There'll be a video where she talks about the program. She's got a 10% discount for you guys, just you guys who listen to the show. And if you enroll, you also get videos every day for 28 days, helping you understand how to use the program and how to make it work with your lifestyle. So again, that's F as in female, E as in entrepreneur, musician.com, femmusician.com/064 for that information. Now, here's some more information about Symentha Holmes. Symentha has been sharing her story of how she healed herself from low energy, systematic candida, malnutrition, prediabetes, and adrenal failure from years of working in the bar industry, being in a band, and traveling for work. Her health evolved into a success story because she took control of her health and dramatically changed her life. It is her mission to help others learn who they are, to connect more deeply with themselves, and to live a more integrated life of health and love. Here's my interview with Symentha Holmes. So that's a little bit about Symentha Holmes. So Symentha, is there anything that our listeners need to know besides your very cool spelling of the name Samantha that they need to know about you that's a little bit different or unique or not really mentioned in your bio?
Even my name, actually, my mom actually named me from the witch off of Bewitched. So there is a little bit of magic in me for sure.
That's awesome.
I do like that. I do like it. Yeah. Well, actually, since I've been on the healing and health journey for the last 16 years since I moved to Vancouver from Vancouver Island. My life has been a real awakening. That's sort of like the name of my album is Awakening. And my life has really been sort of going from very asleep to being awake. And that's sort of how my music is written, is my experiences of, the things I do to, just to become a more integrated and more conscious human being. There's many different tools I've learned over the years of being in the health industry, right? I can call myself a hippie, to say the least, being in the hemp industry, right? I mean, but
right,
it's opened up my whole world, honestly, Brie. I came from the bartending industry and then moving into like really serving drinks to serving hemp shakes,
That is so weird.
Right? It's like a full circle sort of a thing, right? It's just been a real, a new understanding of a way to live, a balanced, healthy life. And there's so many things out there to help us as human beings be more conscious. And I get really turned on by that. It's just been a cool journey, to say the least.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So how did you get started in music?
So, like I said, I'm from Vancouver Island, a really small town, and my parents were always into, Led Zeppelin and, the Eagles. And then my brother, he is just over 10 years older than me. So they brought in, Aerosmith and Billy Squier and then my sister is just a little. So I had lots of different influences of music in my childhood, and then I did get married very, very young. Like I was 20 years old. I got married.
That's really young. I got married at 22, and I thought that was young.
Okay, yeah, I know. Like nowadays, right? It's just not the norm. It was so for our parents and stuff. It was sort of normal, get married young.
Oh yeah.
Kids. But I got married, sort of like very young. And then I just, over the years, I realized it wasn't for me. And then I ended up moving to Vancouver when I was 27. And something happened. I'd never really been to the big city before. I was this, little fish in this huge pond. And I just picked up a guitar one day, like a friend and I were just messing around, a friend that I met, and I just took to it like really quickly. And I ended up writing like a song the first time I picked up a guitar. It was really weird.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so had you already been creative, like rewriting poetry or something like that? Okay.
I did. Thank you. Yeah, I did. I have a million journals I've saved over all these years. Like I just always wrote and wrote and wrote. I was just crazy. I don't know. I just like to write and just see what unfolds. And it's sort of like a dumping ground. I always have found that it's a great place to put the feelings in, to paper and be like, holy crap. It's amazing how much information and heart and love and soul comes in a human being,
I know.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Wait, so you just picked up a guitar, like you hadn't done any music before that?
Not really. I mean, I had a little bit in school. We had band, from grade 9 on, and I just singing was the thing that I got involved in, and then I didn't really do anything after. After high school, I just started working at a very young age in the bar industry, in the restaurant industry. I started very, very young, like I said, slinging drinks and, so I was,
did you experience other, bands within the bar that inspired you?
For sure. Yeah.
Or did you say, I never want to do that?
No, I actually, when I started bartending, so I moved from Qualicum to Nanaimo when I was, 19, and I got my first bartending job at Wichita Rocks, at this crazy, awesome rock bar downtown Nanaimo. And we used to have some amazing bands that came in there, and oh my God. So I was 19. I was one of the head bartenders, total raging alcoholic at that point. And, because we just, you have a shooter with your guests and your customers, your favorite people come in, they're always buying you shooters, these great bands that would come in. And yeah, I was really, really inspired. Actually, there was this Shania Twain tribute band that came in back then. And I was just so blown away that, yeah, I sort of started to dabble in more vocals and stuff with my girlfriend. Yeah. But then it wasn't until I moved to Vancouver that and then I joined a band. So that's sort of how I picked up a guitar, actually. And then I divorced my husband and then, just got a couple tattoos and then joined a band. And then my life just sort of really changed. Yeah, it was a pretty interesting journey.
Oh my goodness. So where did you go from there? Because I don't know any of this part of you at all.
Okay. Right. So 27, single, I was a head bartender, and we have all these amazing bands that would come into the Starfish room. That bar doesn't exist anymore. It used to be behind a really famous bar in Vancouver called Richards on Richards. And yeah, we'd have amazing bands. And then, I had my band on the side. And so I had my day job, and then I had my night job, and then I was in a band. I did that for a few years. And I had about, 15 original songs, and we were called Asphalt, and it was, some heavy AC/DC sort of covers and Led Zeppelin covers and Alanis Morissette, and just, half covers and then half originals. And that lasted a few years. And then I went to a different band, and then we did we would actually perform in different pubs around Vancouver and stuff. That was a lot of fun. But, that's sort of where I started to get a real, like, my health really started to decline because I was bartending so much. And then just, going into just, you know what I mean? I mean, a lot of alcohol, a lot of, dope, and a lot of late nights, and just running on adrenaline. It really actually caught up to me, Brie. And I started to get really sick around the age of like 28, 29, 30.
Wow. And you're thinking, I'm only 28 or 29. Like, I should not be sick.
Yeah.
Now.
It was scary. I actually got adrenal exhaustion, and I was pre-diabetic because I was living off of caffeine and alcohol. And you know what I mean? It's just it's tough, and yeah, it got pretty tricky, but that's sort of where my life changed. And my family got involved in the hemp food industry. So my dad and my brother, we basically ran across some farmers in Saskatchewan that had these lean little pigs. And my dad's like, what are you guys feeding your pigs? And they're feeding them hemp cake, because the first hemp that was legally grown in Canada, this company called Manitoba Harvest, they basically started making hemp seed oil. And the byproduct from the seeds was this cake that they were feeding these pigs. Anyway, long story short, we got our hands on a sample of the cake, and we ended up making the world's first hemp protein powder, which is actually pretty cool. So that's our family.
Wow.
Yeah.
So now what was the order of this? Did they start getting into this while you were still, doing your thing in Vancouver and starting to get sick, or did they do it in response to the fact that you were getting sick and they wanted to find a solution?
Oh, that's a great question. Actually, it started because my brother was, who's about, 10 years older than me. He was really sick growing up, and he tried to do the vegetarian thing and just got really ill by not eating well. And so he started his health journey. He took reflexology and learned about health and digestion and stuff. He's got a couple books out. He's got a company called consciousplanet.net. And then he started our hemp company, Living Harvest, which is now called Hemp Co Canada. So he started that just because, him and my dad were looking for a really good protein, and they ran across this hemp protein. It changed our lives.
Wow. Yeah. So when you were really sick, did they kind of do an intervention on you? Like, you need to do this.
Brie, honestly, yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I was not doing well. And my brother, he came over, and the first thing that he did for me is I did a parasite cleanse and a liver flush. I'd never done liver flush before. It's crazy. And it changed my life. I know that sounds weird, but my body was so toxic, and especially my liver. And they say that with your liver, like if people have a lot of anger, like the emotion of anger, it's usually because the liver, like that's the emotion that comes with the liver. And when you start to cleanse, your body starts to release emotional trauma too, right? So wow. I was a very sort of tense, angry, anxious person. And after I did the liver flush, it's just, I don't want to go into the details of it because it's pretty gory, but something happened. Like, it's just something released in my liver. And then we started our company. I started working for a company very shortly after that as the sales rep across Canada. So my job was to be on the road, and I toured across Canada and into the States and to Hawaii as well, just to teach people about hemp. That was my life, and has been for the last, 16 years, being on the road. And it's been amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So was it hard to make that transition, or did you just feel so much better that you didn't want to be having, living on caffeine and alcohol anymore?
Well, it's funny because when I first started eating the protein powder, because I was like the guinea pig, our family, we started to eat it every day. So we knew, what it would do to our body. And so we'd have a couple hemp shakes a day. And I honestly, my sugar cravings went away. I was such a sugar monster. It was nuts. And my energy levels went skyrocket. And I also suffered from candida, which is just having a really acidic body from eating so much sugar and acid, that the body grows a lot of candida, which is like a yeast. And my system was really messed up for many, many years. And because sugar feeds yeast, the hemp, just because it's such a high protein that the body can use as a fuel, my body just totally changed, and my hormones balanced out. Like, I used to have endometriosis and all these, like, I was pre-diabetic. I was a mess. Like, it was just nuts.
Mm.
And
so I'm curious, did this change your music? Like, when you had the, detox and like you got rid of your anger and all that, did you stop doing rock and do like a lot more like folk? Or
Bree, honestly, you're brilliant. It's exactly what happened. I honestly, like, my music was heavy. Like, it was like really heavy stuff. And then while I was, sort of eating this new way and living this new life, I got into yoga as well and started meditating, and really started to become a hippie because I was totally tapped into the health industry. But I was driving around a lot, and I was staying in hotels, and I'd always bring my guitar with me, and my songs became about my awakening journey. And so a lot of my songs are about, going from darkness to light, and just, understanding how we can expand our own consciousness, and we're in control of our lives, really. And how we eat really does matter. I know you said that earlier. You said it's health is the new rich. I love when you said,
yes.
Yeah,
that's my new mantra. That's making me get up in the morning and go for a run.
Oh man, I'm so proud of you. And it's great. It is. Health is like, without it. And I learned, you learn it the hard way. Unfortunately, as humans, we love to like get beat up a little bit first before we go, oh, right, I shouldn't do that anymore because I'm hurting myself, Yeah, being on the road and just traveling, that's where I wrote all my songs. I have about 30 originals, and just songs that have really helped me understand who I am and help me understand other people and how to be real and authentic and transparent as a human being. That's sort of the path that I'm on, and I really have found that through music.
That's amazing. So now you're still doing music? Are you a part-time musician because you're working full-time with the hemp?
Yeah. So basically I'm a full-time hemp educator and do travel still across Canada and help people raise more awareness of how to use hemp, really. So I'm more of the hand holder and teach people how to make their own hemp milk and eat the products every single day and just watch how the body transforms. And on the side, I do my music, but I also do another thing, which is cacao ceremonies. So I also write music to hold space for people. So we drink raw cacao and.
Okay, what is that exactly? I mean, I know what cacao is in general, but what is raw cacao?
So when you eat raw cacao in its natural form, like, it's actually a really beautiful medicine, and it's in Mayan culture, it's been used for thousands of years, and it's one of the most profound medicines on the planet. I mean, we all love chocolate, right? Unfortunately, it's been sort of bastardized in North America and pretty much all over the world because we add sugar and in dairy and stuff like that to it, and you're not really getting the full effect of the pure raw power of cacao in its unadulterated state is actually like a medicine. And
so are you like, is it the bean? Yeah. Are you crushing it up? Or okay.
Exactly. I buy the stuff that I buy is from Guatemala, and so I get that shipped in, and everyone drinks about a handful of melted chocolate in like warm water, and you drink it, and it helps to open up your heart. And for me, I've sort of just been dabbling in writing music that is about ceremony and heart opening and expanding, and just bringing in some drums and some nice vocals that help people really get into their body. Because it all just it's just been really a neat sort of, like, I've gone from hard rock to really sweet sort of heart opening awakening music to like sacred ceremony music. It's been a really interesting mix of what is coming through, and I love it. I love being an artist and just being open to whatever comes through. I thank God for music. I mean, honestly, I know you know what I mean, Brie. It's like music is like, it's a release. It's a beautiful way to just express that sacredness in us. I'm so grateful for music. It's really, really saved my life, I swear.
Oh, absolutely. That and hemp.
Right. Yeah, I know exactly. Well, that's why, for me right now, I get to basically, have my wonderful job with our family company. And then, I've created the Healthy Rockstar program because I know how hard it is to be on the road and eat healthy. It is so challenging. And so with the Healthy Rockstar kit, we've got, like all the hemp products in there and some greens and some matcha tea if people want to have those things in their kit. And they, you can have a hemp shake a couple times a day, and you're getting a really powerful fuel for the body. I know you had a chance to try it too, Bree, that the hemp kit. And
yep, I'm still taking it. That hemp oil is amazing.
It is, isn't it?
And then I like the maple cinnamon version of the hemp protein.
It is nice, isn't it?
It is. So how do you encourage performers to do this regimen on the road? Because it seems a little more, obviously, we'll often get free food wherever we're at, and maybe it's, a bar and it's just, junk food and it's coffee and it's ice cream and, whatever. And so how do you kind of help them figure out a way to fit this into their touring schedule?
Even for myself, ever since I've been in the health industry and doing tons of traveling and just education, I always carry my hemp products with me in my bag. I always stuff it in my suitcase. I always have my hemp seeds, my hemp oil, and my protein powder. And if I know that I'm going to a place that there isn't a blender there, I'll just throw my magic bullet in my bag. I don't care, because I know for me, if I have that and I put a good dose of greens, we have a nice hemp and super greens, and I have a couple of those a day, then if I'm going to be, wherever I'm traveling, or if I'm performing and I have to eat, bar food or whatever, then it's not gonna hurt my body as much. And maybe sometimes I won't even need it, because I'll bring a shake with me and just make sure I just have that. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like a safety food where your body's getting fueled with incredible nutrition, and your body's not going to be, starving for a spike of energy, right? It's such a powerful food to balance things out, and you lose sugar cravings and things. So it's like so easy. It's actually it's like super fuel. So you can easily just make a shake and just bring it with you when you're performing, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's cool. So I have to say, and I've never actually talked about this on the show, but one of the reasons that I wanted to have you on the show is because I personally have suffered from inflammatory bowel disease. They can't figure out if it's Crohn's disease or colitis, but I've had this since I was 30. And my music career really took off in my 30s, and I had, ups and downs with my Crohn's disease. I tried all these different diets and everything. And I had experiences on tour where I was literally on stage thinking to myself, I don't think I'm going to make it. I need to find a bathroom. And I'm in the middle of a song.
Oh my God.
And I know there's 3 more songs left. And I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? And I know that there are musicians out there that suffer from this, and nobody talks about it because, it's not the most glamorous thing to talk about. It's embarrassing. But I want to stand up for those people that have different health issues and are still out there trying to make a living as a musician. I totally know what you're going through. And, we've got to find a way around this. And that was one reason I wanted to bring you on here, because I know that you said, hemp has really powerful anti-inflammatory properties.
Mm-hmm. It sure does. Absolutely. And that's where disease starts. Really, the body is in an inflamed state, and, our body then causes stress, and we try to do everything we can to not feel that stress in our body. And it gets really challenging, because then our body gets out of whack. It gets out of control. We start to crave strange things because we get scared. It's just this vicious circle, really. And that's why hemp is so powerful, because it's also really similar to our human blood plasma, which is really bizarre. So when it goes into the body recognizes it, and it digests easily. It's completely raw and bioavailable, full of enzymes, and it's a live food, right, Bree? So the body, we need live food. And that's the thing, is our bodies just get out of whack when we continue to eat things that are more acid forming, and hemp is very alkaline forming. So, this is it's so powerful that you could add this as a musician into your diet, especially with people. I had this girl today I interviewed. Her name is Delaney Rose. She's a really wonderful artist here in Vancouver. She's been on the hemp kit now for 4 days. And she said that it helped to get rid of her anxiety, that she's lost a bit of weight. She has tons of energy and she feels amazing. And she was she had never tried hemp before. So she was really excited about it. And I know for me, it's oh, wow. Because I've been eating it for so long, I just forget how amazing it is.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference. Again, like what you said, health is the new rich, because we really, really gotta take care of these. We're like a musical instrument. Our bodies are like a musical instrument, right?
Yeah, I know. And what I love about it is that, like you said, it will break the vicious cycle that we get into. And especially on tour, it's so easy to get into a vicious cycle. First of all, you think to yourself, well, I'll be done with this tour in 2 weeks and then I'll get back to being healthy. Or, you eat something you shouldn't. And then the next day you're like, oh, well, I already ate that. Or you start craving these things that you wouldn't normally crave because you ate it while you're on tour because it's so convenient.
You nailed it. I know. It's so funny. And like for me, like my thing, I used to be a real sugar monster. So I'd eat 2, 3, 4 chocolate bars a day. Ridiculous.
Wow.
Not even healthy ones. And of course, right. And it's like the body, can only take so much of that, and that vicious cycle is just, it can get really, really out of control for sure.
Yeah. And I mean, you're on tour and it's like you get done with your event at 10 or 11 at night and like nothing else is open except a convenience store.
Exactly.
You got to be your own convenience store, right? You
Sure.
got to have something that's convenient with you that you can just go and even if it's midnight, you can go into your hotel room and just blend it up real quick and drink it. And then you go to bed feeling good.
Absolutely. And this is the kind of protein that your body you can eat it pretty late, as long as you don't mix it with a bunch of other things. And because it's so easy to digest, it'll really help your body recover while you're sleeping.
Yeah. That's awesome and powerful.
It is.
So do you have any other suggestions of ways that touring artists can, avoid the bad stuff? And I know you mentioned bringing the shake with you, or, if you have to eat the bad stuff, then you at least have the shake to kind of balance it out. Do you have any other suggestions? Because I remember I used to be in forums and we'd be talking about what we do on tour, and people would be like, I always look up the nearest Subway because it's cheap and not so bad for you, and stuff like that. And I always struggled with what to eat on tour.
Oh, I know. Well, for me, like I do always carry my hemp. I'm not just saying that, but people usually come to me because they're like, I need a hemp shake. But for me, I always make sure that like I'm flying to Toronto in a couple of days to do a huge health show there. And I'm going to go and find a Whole Foods. That's sort of, I know it's not the greatest place because I do support GMO and all that crap. But anyway, they do sell things like seeds, nuts, grab a trail mix. Make sure you have lots of water. That's a big thing. If you can get packets of greens, like we do have a hemp and greens, but if you're on the go, you need something, drink some greens and just make sure you keep the body really alkaline. Because as soon as our body gets acidic, then we start to crave, because our energy levels are really low, then we want quick energy. We want sugar, or carbs, right? But if you're fueling your body with protein that is sustainable, that has a high amount of fiber in it, then it'll last in your body longer, right?
So does it also give you energy so you can kind of go, I don't need that coffee because when I drink this, it's going to give me some energy?
Totally. Absolutely. Yes. Because especially when you drink coffee, your body will get amped up and then you'll have that drop again, right? And then you'll be like, okay, I need something. I need sugar or a muffin or I need coffee again, right? So but if you're having like a hemp shake and you're drinking that in blending up a banana or add a handful of spinach, it'll last you 3 to 4 hours of energy and you won't be hungry because it's so sustainable. It's a very sustainable food for your body. Right?
Yeah. It sounds like the perfect tour food. If only you didn't have to blend it, but nothing's perfect.
I know. Well, we have these tasty little bars called these hemp super minis. They are just,
I'm excited about these.
I'll send you some for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. So how do you balance being a musician right now with this really, demanding day job that you have? And what have you put in place to kind of help you? Like, do you have a team that helps you with your music that, maybe helps you book things and stuff?
Like for right now, I am working with a couple other artists through the Mark Rosner management company. He's like my manager right now. And I'm working with a couple of the artists local, like Delaney Rose, and we're setting up some singer-songwriter events here. We're just gathering some people, and we're actually going to be teaching them about health and how to live a balanced life as a musician, which is so interesting that we're having this talk. We just booked that in White Rock. And so you're moving more toward integrating the two things that you do, which I think is awesome. Yeah, it's actually a dream come true right now. And so I'm just so grateful to be on this podcast with you and share, because I believe that this is huge for our future. Just Obviously we love the life of, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, but it can only take you so far, right? You gotta add some health in there. And we got to keep our rock stars healthy, because we need music. Music is life. It's like universal language of love. It's like we have to support it. It's really, really important. And the older I get, the more I realize that music is a really important part of my life, and just collaborating with other artists and being part of other shows. And that's what I'm doing right now, as much as I can. I have my job, and then the evenings is my music. And I'm just going into the recording studio with my new drummer, which I'm very excited about. And we're going to be recording some songs, and just, getting it out there and just sharing the love. That's it. That's what it's all about. Sharing the love, sharing the music, sharing the health. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, so speaking of sharing the love, do you have a book or a web resource or anything that's like helped you on your journey, other than obviously hemp, but anything that's maybe helped you either with the music business or with personal development or anything like that you want to share?
Oh, for sure. One of the books that really enhanced my life was The Artist's Way.
Oh yes, that's been mentioned a few times, and I've read that too. It's a great
classic. I mean,
it's a great creative unlocking device.
It's such a beautiful tool. I love that book. Absolutely. And I've always actually had a training coach, like a vocal coach that I've worked with. So I've always made sure that I keep my vocals up to snuff. And some books that, actually one thing I've been doing over the last year is taking Landmark. Landmark is like a self-development course that you can take. There's 2.5 million people that have done it all over the world. And I just love it.
Okay.
Have you heard of Landmark?
I have heard of it on, side basis. I don't know much about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty powerful. Landmark is a way of just teaching me how to be really present and see the world as it is and for what it is, and how to show up more as a whole integrated human being with creating possibility from nothing. It's a really, really powerful.
I'll have to check that out. That's very cool. Well, I am definitely going to be posting a link for people to go check out your company. What is the name of your company? And just to let people know, the show notes for this episode will have a link that, you guys can go and check out what she has to offer, and the special kits that she's created under the Healthy Rockstar that you guys can take with you on tour, which I love, this new program that she has. What is your company called, and how can they get in touch with you on social media and all that?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So people can get a hold of me through Healthy Rockstar is on Facebook. And there's a YouTube channel that we're just creating right now. And they can also go to healthyrockstar.ca, or they can go to Symentha.com. My name is spelled Symentha, Symentha.com. Yeah. And then
that is just the coolest. So the Samantha from Bewitched is not spelled like that, right?
No.
Where did they come up with that spelling?
No, so my mother, it's my birth name is Samantha, but I came across numerology about 12 years ago, and it just really inspired me. And I just realized how much our names influence our personality. So it is interesting. You can check it out online. Look up numerology and get it. And I just decided to just alter the spelling. I just got inspired by it as well. And I don't know, I like it. It's different. And then Samantha,
it's very different.
Available. I'm like, sweet, right? So
that's cool. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been so great and so informative, and something a little different for our show, but something I think is really important for the musicians to focus on. It's not all about the music and the business. If we are not healthy, there is no music and there is no business, right?
You said it, Bree. Absolutely, girl. Yeah.
So you guys go check out hemp. She's got plenty of educational materials there that can help you understand how to use it and what it's, how it works and, what it helps you with and all that. So thank you so much, Symentha. It's been really, really great having you here. And I just am so glad that I connected with you.
Me too, Bree. Thank you very much. It's really been an honor. Really have.
Now go out and make great music, connect with your fans, and grow your business. Female Entrepreneur Musician has been brought to you by FEmusician.com and FemaleMusicianAcademy.com. With editing by Jen Eads of 317 Sound Design and music by Stella Ronson.
Hey, thanks for sticking around. Enjoy this track from Symentha called Deeper.